Welcome back to Home Gym Hacks and Reviews. Today I'm going to show how I would structure an upper body push workout for the chest, shoulders, and triceps using only the Powertec Multipress, a set of daisy chains, and revolving D handles. And this video will have quite a few hacks for those of you who wanted me to create a hack series for the Multipress. I have a three-part video series showing an upper body push workout, an upper body pull workout, and a lower body workout using only the Powertec Lever Gym. I also have another video showing a full body routine using only the Powertec Lever Gym. And now, in addition to my review for the Powertec Multipress, which is my second favorite Powertec machine, I want to make a couple of training videos using only this piece of equipment. Before I show the workout, I want to highlight some of the upgrades and modifications that I've made to the Multipress. First off, I put number stickers on the bench and range of motion plates so I can always find my settings quickly. Next, I have the very nice Powertec weight tree directly behind the Multipress, which actually looks like an extension of the machine. And by having the weight tree back there, I never have to go far to load and unload the plates. I also have UHMW tape on top of the lever arms, and whenever I want to get them up and out of the way, I just set them against the plates that are on the top storage posts. The Multipress comes with two standard storage posts that are powder coat. I removed those and put on these stainless steel Olympic posts. The plates slide on and off more easily, and it looks a whole lot better. And the biggest and best modification I've made to the Powertec Multipress, which I'll feature throughout this video, are these 8-inch 2x4s, which I've connected with a polypropylene rope. I call these my lift-off blocks because they allow me to start my pressing movements with the lever arms elevated. I want to point out that I taped the rope to the Multipress so that when I lift the lever arms up and the blocks fall away, they stay connected to the machine, and they're a lot less likely to crack me in the head. I want to show the difference in lever arm height depending on how the block is positioned on the pin. Here the block is laying flat, and here the block is laying on its side. So for the flat press, I have to have the block laying flat, otherwise the lever arm would be out of reach. For anyone who is wondering, yoga blocks do not work nearly as good as the 2x4s. One, because they're too big, and secondly, they're not dense enough. If I have a couple of 45s loaded on this lever arm and this block is here, it will become squished against that pin. To make this video series, I'm going to take a day or two break from my normal training routine, which I featured in my most recent video, but I am still going to perform one work set taken to failure for each exercise. So this is an upper body push workout, which will include chest, shoulders, and triceps. And for each muscle group, I'm going to perform one compound lift, followed by one isolation exercise, and I'm going to try to stay between 8 and 12 reps per set. If you are a novice or a beginner and you're using this video as a tutorial, you don't have to follow everything I'm doing to a T. Instead, for example, you could do 2 to 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps, and you don't need to take everything to failure, except for maybe the last set of each exercise. I probably won't make a lower body training video for the Multipress because this machine is best used for upper body muscle groups. However, if you include the leg extension leg curl attachment and the leg press attachment, you can get a very good lower body workout on this machine. After a few band exercises and push-ups, it's time for my first exercise, the flat press. I'll perform a couple of progressively heavier warm-up sets. The goal of these is to reduce my chance of injury by warming up the target muscles and to prepare my mind and body for my one all-out work set. I usually do 2 45s at 10 reps, then add a 25 to each side for another 5 reps, and then it's time for my one work set. This is where the block hack is so helpful. On my heaviest sets, I don't want to start in the hole. I did that since 2008 and it would aggravate my shoulders when going heavy. But now I can start on the negative, just like a barbell bench press. In addition to being more shoulder friendly, this hack allows me to lift more weight because I don't have to start in the bottom position. And even better, I can put the safety pin a setting lower, which provides a greater range of motion and a better stretch. I've talked about the differences between the Lever Gym and Multipress quite a few times, but for anyone who is new, the Multipress is a better pressing station than the Lever Gym due to the lever arm's lower attachment site. However, the Lever Gym is a better all-in-one machine because of the cable system and because it can be used for quite a few lower body exercises, including squats, front squats, split squats, and calf raises. After I perform my work set, I have to evaluate what I'm going to do the next time I perform that exercise, and that's why the logbook is so important, and that's where I make all my notes. If I get more than 12 reps, chances are I'm going to increase the weight by 2 to 10 pounds depending on the exercise the next time I perform that exercise, and at the very least, I'll try to tighten up my form. If I get less than 8 reps, I'll either keep the weight the same or I'll drop the weight, especially if I didn't get 5 reps. And if it's an exercise where I haven't progressed for 2 to 3 workouts, I might even drop the exercise for something new. And if I fall within my 8 to 12 rep range, I'll keep everything the same or progress ever so slightly. Pec flies are next. I lower the lever arms to the bottom setting, secure the daisy chains to the lever arms, and connect my revolving D handles. This isn't an exercise I normally do because I have the Powertec Pec Fly attachment, but this is a surprisingly good hack. I had to try a couple of different back pad settings to find the right feel, and of course this will differ from person to person depending on your height and limb length. After a couple of warm-up sets, I do my one all-out work set to failure. Even though I train one set to failure, and that has been my preferred training style for a couple of years because I burn out very easily on high volume programs, I don't think one training program is necessarily better than another. You just have to find a program you like, one that fits your schedule, and one that you believe in. Most people typically follow a 12-10-8 rep format as the weight gets progressively heavier with each work set for a given exercise. And that is a tried and true training approach, and it will work perfectly well for all of the exercises that I show in this video. There's a few different ways to secure the daisy chains to the lever arms handles, and depending on the exercise it might look a little different. But the main thing that I do is wrap the daisy chain in on itself, and the more tension there is on the daisy chain, the tighter it fits along the handles. And sometimes I'll take the opposite end and just put it on the handle, or sometimes I'll do the switcheroo and take this end and put it on first, and then the one that I just knotted will go on second. And again, it's tight once there's tension on the daisy chain. If I'm going to put both ends of the daisy chain on the handle like I've done here, it's a whole lot better to have the end that's looped in on itself on the end of the handle because it makes it less likely to slide off. If I'm doing an exercise where the daisy chain is folded in half, I'll find my midpoint and then connect my carabiner and handle. And I also have the option, if I don't want to fold it like this, I can just put on the one end that I looped in on itself and then connect my carabiner and handle anywhere along the daisy chain. I'll just have this excess daisy chain hanging down, but there is the option to put that in the carabiner also, and that'll take care of some of that excess. If you want, you could throw in some push-ups here for a little more chest work, or go right into your first shoulder exercise. For the flat press, the blocks need to lay flat, but I can turn them on their side for incline and shoulder presses and start with the lever arms even higher. After some warm-up sets, I do my one set to failure. Sometimes I get a sharp pain in my upper back when I perform overhead presses, so for compound shoulder exercises, I usually do incline presses, which is still a great delt builder. Just like with the flat press, I position my hands at the bend in the handles. I find this more joint friendly than grabbing the straight portion of the handle. I'll also mention that I perform all of my presses except for the close grip tricep press with the lever arm set to isolateral. This is an awesome feature not seen on the earlier model multi-presses, and it helps to ensure that one arm doesn't dominate the movement. After my compound shoulder exercise, I perform this very good lateral raise variation, once again using the daisy chains and revolving D handles, a couple of warm-up sets, then my one work set. I like this hack because I think it hangs pretty well with some functional trainer lateral raise variations. When it comes to the lever gym and multi-press, finding the perfect setting for the bench, lever arms, and even the daisy chains makes all the difference in a lift feeling and being as good as it can be, because sometimes a setting off by just one notch can aggravate the shoulders and elbows. The bench in the upright position adds a lot of stability to this exercise as opposed to standing up, and once I reach failure, I perform some lengthened partials. And once I finish this exercise, I realized I can make it even better if I put an ab mat behind my back and got a little greater stretch. My first tricep exercise is the close grip press using the bar that comes with the multi-press. The block hack works great, but each time the blocks are put back, the tricep bar and pin needs to be removed so I'm not lifting both lever arms at the same time. I also want to mention whenever the tricep bar is used, the pin that connects the lever arms needs to be in place so shear force isn't placed on the bar. The close grip press is an exercise where the block hack is invaluable because without it, it's a little difficult to get into position with the lever arms down and the bar connected. I have connected the bar while laying down, but this is much better. I also find starting in the top position for the close grip press to be more shoulder, elbow, and wrist friendly. A lot of people want converging arms, but this is one exercise that wouldn't be possible if the arms only moved on a converging path. Just like with all of my other lifts on this training day, I performed a couple of progressively heavier warm-up sets and then my one work set to failure. This is the overhead tricep extension using the daisy chains and revolving D handles connected to the lever arms handles. The bench adds a lot of stability to this exercise, and I can get a good stretch for each repetition. This is actually a pretty good substitute for anyone who doesn't have a cable machine and wants to perform this exercise. Once I reach failure on this set, I perform a couple of lengthened partials to hopefully get some additional hypertrophic stimulus to the muscles. This isn't an exercise I perform very often, so I had to guess my work set weight, and I got close to my target rep range of 8 to 12 reps with a total of 13 reps. So the next time I do this exercise, I would go up a 5-pound plate on each side. So this is how I would structure an upper body push routine using only the Powertec Multipress. With the addition of the daisy chains, I can maximize the machine's versatility, and if I was tight on space or didn't want to spend the money, I could get by without a cable machine or a functional trainer. There were a few novel exercises in today's workout, but I'm happy with the end result. I think I got a good pump for this training session, which tells me I hit the target muscles effectively, and just as importantly, I didn't experience any joint pain. At the end of each work set or at the end of the workout, this is how I would evaluate each exercise to determine what I'm going to do the next time I do this workout. First up, for the chest press, I got 8. I would go up a 2.5 on each side. For the pec fly, I got 8, and because it's an isolation exercise, I would keep the weight the same and try to get an extra rep. For the incline press, I got 8. I would go up a 2.5 on each side. For the lateral raise, I got 9, and because it's an isolation exercise, I would only go up 1 pound on each side using one of these collars, and I would probably try to get an extra rep too. For the close grip press, I got 11, so I'm going up a 5 on each side. And for the overhead extension, I got 13. I'm definitely going up by 5 on each side. To recap, this workout is how I would structure an upper body push workout using only the multi-press. If you don't want to do single set training like me, you could always try push-pull legs and do this workout 1 to 2 times a week. Do a couple of warm-up sets and then your work sets. Just remember, if your training intensity is high, it's best to lower your training volume. At the end of each lift, evaluate your work sets to determine if you're going to increase, decrease, or keep the weight the same. And it would be okay to abbreviate this workout and only perform the compound exercises, which would still result in a very effective workout. I tried a couple new things in this video, including a different camera setting, and I left off my video intro for the first time, so please let me know what you think. I'll upload my upper body pull workout for the multi-press within a couple of weeks, but I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope you look forward to the next multi-press video. And I am an affiliate for Powertec US and Powertec Europe, so if you make any Powertec purchase, please consider using my Powertec affiliate links at no additional cost to you. And remember, if your equipment lacks, I got the hacks. Take care, everyone.